All right, so like I was saying the other day, we started with division. Okay, does anybody remember what dividend means?
It's the number that's being divided.
The number that's being divided. What's divisor? Vince?
The number that we're going to divide is the number that's
The number that we're dividing by. Okay, so the dividend is the number we're dividing. Divisor is the number that's being divided by. Okay, quotient is what?
It's the answer.
Your what? A planar? Sorry, I forgot you just did. The answer to a division problem. Yes, hurry up. All right, so we talked about that. We talked about which ones are the divisors, which ones are the dividends. Okay, so then we talked about doing multiples of 10 and doing that division. Okay, that was that shortcut, just like multiplication. If it ends with a 0, we can do that quickly with just doing the 32 here divided by 4 and then adding the 0 at the end. So that's when it ends with 0. Now, I want to move on to which page? Because I grabbed the wrong packet. So we're going to jump to page 8, or page 7 I mean. Sorry, page 7 looks like this.
When I was quarantined, in your pictures it didn't show what page. So
Sorry.
I just did every single page on there.
Well, you'll be fine. Okay, so when you're doing division, all right, there's a couple different methods of doing this. The first method is the OG, the original. Okay, it's the standard algorithm. Okay, it's been around for years on years on years. It's older than I am. Okay, it's literally just the most generic, most specific, easiest, simplest way to do it. Now, there is a partial quotient way. I don't like this method because once you start getting into decimals, it gets very confusing. You can use this method all you want. Okay, if you know how to use the partial method or the partial quotient method, more power to you. It confuses me. I don't like it. It doesn't help when we get to decimals. That's mainly the reason why I don't like it. Because once we start getting into decimals, we're going to be spending a lot of time with that. So the standard algorithm way is the best way to go. Okay, it's the normal, it's what everyone usually teaches. All right, so let's jump over to page 8 now. Jump over to page 8. Okay, we're going to do number 3 together there. So it says 8,025 divided by 6. So the one that's on the inside, remember, that's the dividend. That's the one being divided. The 6 is a divisor. Okay, it's the one dividing by, girls. Okay, we have to start always with the first number. Okay, we're trying to see how many times this number can go into this. That's what division is. So, whenever you have one digit, always start with the first one. Does 6 go into 8?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, 6 goes into 8. How many times?
Once.
Once. So that 1 goes directly above the 8 because that's what we're looking at. Okay, so 1 times 6 now is what?
6.
6. That goes directly below the 8 because now we have to subtract. Okay, so 8 minus 6? 2. Okay. Now, does 6 go into 2?
No.
No. So this is where you have to drop
This.
the next number. In that case, it's a 0. So now we look at, does 6 go into 20?
Yes.
Yes. How many times?
3.
3 times. So that 3 goes above the 0. Goes right next to the 1. Don't start moving these around and place them wherever you want. It's not how that works. Okay, so then we do 3 times 6.
18.
18. Now we subtract. What's 20 minus 18? 2. Okay, does 6 go into 2?
No.
No, so we got to drop this other 2. Okay, how many times does 6 go into 22?
3.
3 times. So that goes up there. So then 18 again. So we subtract. What's 22 minus 18?
4.
4. Does that work?
No.
No, so we got to drop the 5. So it's literally just step by step by step. It's just you start with the first number, work your way to the right. It's just it's a little time consuming, but it's literally just step by step by step. That's all division is. Okay, you just got to put the time into it. You can't be lazy. So, how many times is 6 going to 45?
7.
7 times. So that'd be 42. We subtract and we get 3. Now, this 3 down here, okay, we don't have any more numbers. So this is our remainder. So 1,337 with a remainder of 3. Okay, now another way to double check yourself is actually to multiply those numbers out and see what it is. That's a way to check yourself. I'm not going to require that, but it would be a good idea if something doesn't look right to you. Just to double check yourself. Another thing is, if this remainder is bigger than the quotient, you've done something severely wrong. It should never be bigger than the quotient. Okay, so that's another way to just double check yourself. All right, so let's do number 5 now. We're going to jump down to number 5. So now number 5 is 7,527 divided by 3. So I write that out. 7,000. Right there. Divided by 3. So 3 goes on the outside. Okay, so once again, you always start with the first number. How many times is 3 going to 7? 2 times. So that 2 goes directly above the 7 every time.
6.
So 2 times 3 is 6.
1.
You subtract 7 minus 6 is 1. Okay, so does 3 go into 1?
No.
Nope, so what do we have to do?
Drop the 5.
Drop the next number, which is a 5. Does 3 go into 15?
Yes.
How many times? 5 times. Okay, so then 5 times 3, 15. 15 minus 15, 0. Okay, so we're going to have to drop down the 2. All right, we hit a snag here. Does 3 go into 2?
No.
No. Okay, we've already dropped our number, so if it doesn't work,
So you just drop the other number.
can't drop the other number.
What?
Put a 0.
Drop
You can't. If you could, it'd make things a lot easier, but you cannot drop that 7 yet because we've already dropped 1. You can only do 1 at a time. So then 0 times 3 is
0.
0. So what's 2 minus 0?
2.
Now we can drop the 7. And how many times is 3 going to 27?
9.
So that'd be 27. We get 0. Do we have a remainder?
No.
No. So that's a 0 down there. You just don't have a remainder. So 2,509 is your quotient. Nick, you should be taking notes, please. So any questions so far? All right. What I want you guys to do is we're going to jump to the next page. Or no, I lied. Stay on the same page. You're going to do number 4.
By yourself.
By yourself. If you get stuck or you need help, talk to the people around you. Don't ask for answers. Ask for help. Like, did you get this? Like, when you multiplied, did you get that for your answer, or should it be this? Like that. You're not asking for answers.
What one's somebody doing?
Just number 4 down here. Just number 4. That 3,443 divided by 9. So go ahead and do that. I'll give you a couple minutes. All right. So 3,443 divided by 9. You always start at the first number. Does 9 go into 3?
No.
No. So you jump to the next one. So all you're looking at now, does it go into 34?
Yes.
Yeah. How many times?
3.
3 times. So that goes directly above that. Now, there are times where you can put a 0 there. That's fine. But remember, when you write your answer, we don't write like 343 or whatever it's going to be. Okay, you don't put a 0 in front of that. It's not how we write numbers. So don't forget that part. But for right now, if you want to just put a 0 there, totally fine. Just don't write it with your answer. So 3 times 9 would be what?
27.
27. So now we subtract. Got to borrow. What's 14 minus 7?
7.
Okay, that doesn't work. So we bring the 4 down. How many times is 9 going to 74?
8.
8 times. So 8 times 9?
72.
72. So now we subtract. 74 minus 72? 2. That doesn't work, so we got to drop the 3. How many times is 9 going to 23?
2.
What are we left with?
Alright.
382 with the remainder of 5. Okay, guys, it's literally one step at a time.
At first, I wasn't sure if you wanted us to go over to the next number, but
Yes.
then I looked up here if they can.
Yes, that's a good thing to use your resources. Perfect. Look at the examples. That's why I give them to you. Okay, it's a resource to use. I'm not going to always be able to help you. That's why I try to give you as much stuff to help you. All right, let's jump to page 13 now. Page 13.
I didn't even know there was a page 13. It was page 20 too.
I told you I cut some pages out, so they're all over the place. All right, so now we're getting into 2-digit divisors. So before was 1. Nothing changes. You still follow the same steps. Start at the first number, work your way down. Okay? So let's do number 1 down here together. So it looks like this. 628 divided by 24. 628. Dividend goes on the inside. Divisor on the outside. That's what they mean by a 2-digit. Before it was 628 divided by 4. Now we're doing 24. Doesn't change anything. So, start at 6. Does 24 go into 6?
No.
No. So we jump to 62. Does it go into 62?
Yeah.
Probably. How many times do you think? So 2. 24 times 2. That'd be 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 48. I'm going to go with yes. That's the one we're going to have to go with. So we go 2 right above that one.
24 times 3 is 72.
Yes, exactly. That's called the guess and check method. We guessed it was 2. Luckily on the first try we got it right. It doesn't always happen that way, but did that really take that long?
No.
No. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. So 2 times 24 was 48. So now all we're doing is looking at that 62 minus 48.
To borrow.
We're gonna have to borrow.
5 and then 12.
So then what's 12 minus 8?
4.
4. 5 minus 4.
1.
1. Okay, so we've done 62 and 40. So we did that. Now, does 24 go into 14?
No.
No. So what do we have to do?
Bring down the 8.
Bring down the 8. So now, anybody got to guess how many times 24 goes into 148?
5.
Let's try 5. So 4 times 5?
20.
20. 5 times 2?
10.
Plus 2?
12.
I'm going to go with that one. No. We can go with another one. 24 times 6.
Yeah. I was going to say. We can
144.
Yeah.
So 6 it is. So we get 144. Get 4. Okay. No more numbers. So that is our what? Remainder. So 26 with the remainder of 4. So it didn't change anything. You just had a bigger number. It actually makes it a lot shorter because you have to jump to the next number. So you're not doing as many numbers actually. All right. Let's do number 2 now. So number 2 is 2,170 divided by 29. All right, so always start. This is what I should do. There we go. Start with the 2. Does it work? What about 21? 217?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody have a guess at how many that's going to be? Well,
7.
let's try 7. 29 times 7. That'd be 63. 14, 203. Look at that. Will nailed it right on the first try. Okay, like I said, guess and check method doesn't hurt anything. So now it doesn't go above the 2, doesn't go above the 1, it goes above this 7. So right there, weird looking 7. Okay, so we know that is 203. So 217 minus 203. What's 7 minus 3?
4.
1 minus 0.
1.
1. Okay, does 29 go into 14?
No.
No, so we got to bring that 0 down. Okay, anybody got to guess how many times 29 goes into 140? Carson.
9.
How many?
9 times.
Well, hold on. Let's think about that. 29 goes times 7 was 203. It's going to have to be smaller than 7. Let's try 6. So 9 times 6 is 54. 12, 17. Nope. Anybody else?
4.
Let's try 4. So 36. 116. Probably the one that's going to have to be. Okay, that's the one that's going to have to be. So we put 4. 116. Now we subtract. Okay, so our remainder is 24. Now, sometimes, okay, like I said, it's going to look very big, but as long as that remainder is not bigger than the quotient, you are good. That is a bigger number, but it's not bigger than that. That's all we care about. Guys, so it's literally the same steps. It doesn't matter what you're dividing by, you still follow the same steps. Start the first one, go to the second one, go to the third one, go to the fourth one if you have to. Okay, it just depends on the numbers you're dividing. All right, on the next page, page 14. You guys are going to do number 1 and number 2. 943 divided by 31. 3,627 divided by 48. I'll give you a few minutes. Go ahead and get started.
Is it okay if I didn't like the answer with you?
No, that's fine.
I was just watching. Page 14.
Yep. Oh, don't worry about that. That's me.
Where do I put that?
Right there. Yes.
Oh, he said don't worry about these. I'm literally let's do mine first and then I'll help you. Like, I won't be able to understand.
What did we say earlier?
You put a 0. I did.
So then, what's 0 times 10? So what's your remainder? There you go. You guys are overcomplicating this. Overcomplicating it. Literally take it one step at a time. Start with the first number, work your way to the right. more minutes. Okay, so this 31 going to 9. Annual plan, 31. So, 94. So you got to figure out the time 34, but 31. So, inside, but like 31 times 2, 31 times 30. Just figure out what the numbers are. Guess and check method. $943 divided by 31. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, always start with the first number. Does 31 go into 9?
No.
No. So we jump to 94. Does it go into 94?
Yes.
Yes. How many times? 3. Because 31 times 3, that would be 393. So 3 it is. 3 times 31, it was 93. So now we subtract. 1. Does that work? No. So this is where we have to bring the 3 down. Does this work?
No.
So we have to put a 0. If you've moved a number down and it still doesn't go into it, that's when you put the 0. So 0 times 31 was 0. So there's your remainder. Any questions on that one? All right, now 3,627 divided by 48. Once again, we start with the first one. No. What about this one?
No.
So we jump to the third one.
Yes.
Yes. Does anybody have a guess?
7.
So 48 times 7. So that's 56. 33. So that's going to be the 1. So 7 goes above the 2. 7 times 48 was 336. Okay, we have to subtract, so we have to borrow. So we get 26. Does that work?
No.
No, so we have to bring our 7 down.
5.
So then 48 goes in 267 5 times. So that's 40, 24. That's the 1. So 5, 240. And you get 27 left over. 75 with a remainder of 27. Any questions? All right, so your homework today is on IXL. 6th grade, section C, number 5. You have about 10 minutes to work on this, so I would suggest getting on there. You probably could finish half of it. Okay, so 6C5. Everyone's logging in right now. With 10 minutes left, everyone's trying it. Because I can tell you right now, you're not going to have a calculator on the test. So when you guys are Googling answers and using a calculator on the homework, you're not going to know how to do it for the test. So you're going to bomb the test. And you need to know that tests are worth twice as much as homework. Okay, so if you bomb a test, and yes, you could do well on the homework, it's not going to help it out. You have to work this out on the test. That's why I give you homework to practice. All right, so you got plenty of time, get to work.